In this video, we're going to be looking at the VectorPrime EA-MT5 by Mr. Maxime here. This video is sponsored by our free Golden Time Bomb Expert Advisor. Take your trading to the next level through automating the London breakout and the opening range breakout. Click the link in the description to download the EA completely for free. So we can see that this is another very AI-heavy expert advisor, where he's claiming that it's using a structured execution under multi-time frame market conditions based on vector analysis, where price dynamics are decomposed into directional impulses and matrix-based structures. So that sounds very, very fancy, but what does it actually do? So there's all this like AI jargon of vector dynamics engine, prime momentum layer, but like realistically we have no idea how exactly it's working. But one thing that we can kind of glean is that it's not using martingales, grid structures, forecasting tool, and and apparently it's based on more like breakouts, volatility shifts, and each one has a stop loss, each position has a stop loss and a take profit. So all of that shows that perhaps it is indeed using a non-martingale, non-grid strategy. We know that it runs on the H1 time frame. I'm not so sure if he's actually showing the asset it's running on. We're seeing that it can run supposedly on any broker. AI opportunities, strategy matrix. And he's showing different risk levels. Obviously this looks a bit silly, like it's using a maximal drawdown of 0%, turning $10,000 into $86 million. That's probably not super real, but let's check out the live signal. We can see that it's trading gold, so that's why I also ran the backtest on gold. But here we have very few trades, and it's using very high leverage. So obviously the returns are super high because he's just using super high leverage. Headway, I'm actually less familiar with that broker. Let's see if we can Google them real quick. So Headway, okay. Yeah, reliable broker. I think I've seen them once or twice. And it looks like an actual, yeah, it's a real broker. Like they're registered in South Africa, so that seems somewhat legitimate. And yeah, so it's just not statistically significant. If we only have so few trades, we have no idea. It could have just been a lucky run, or you could have just used an absolutely enormous stop loss to avoid going boom. But he did put a sizable deposit in at the beginning of around $1.3 thousand. So it does seem that he at least somewhat trusts it, because he could very well have lost that. So overall, still a bit fishy. We don't really know what the signal is, and we also don't really know what the strategy is, and we don't quite trust the signal. So I would be a bit apprehensive so far, but let's dive into the actual back test here, which I've taken the liberty of running, and see if we can discover anything else. As you guys can see, this is turning $10,000 into around $50,000, $60,000 within the span of a year. Not even a year, I think 8 months or 9 months. So that's probably not, or 8 months, that's probably not a great sign, because realistically those kinds of massive returns while having a drawdown of 0.07% is silly, right? Like that's so good to be true that it's literally impossible. We're having a 92% win rate with an insanely high risk reward, like what is that? A 60x risk reward. Like clearly it's just totally fake. And here we can see that there's a few different filters. We have like a news filter, we have a console, there's some sort of like a prompt firm guideline, there's trailing exits. But the issue is that like it's clearly a history reader. So we have no idea what it's actually doing. So it could be a good strategy. It could be that when you run it live, there is a real strategy behind it. But right now it looks to just be perfectly cherry picking trades, kind of entering with absolutely no rhyme or reason. Sometimes it's going short, sometimes it's going long. Even if you're in an uptrend, it's still going short. It's going long in a downtrend. So it's just randomly taking trades and perfectly happening to catch every market movement. So that's usually a telltale sign this is clearly a fake bot. And this guy's bots in the past have all been rather fake as well. So this kind of fits in the same category. It's just trading randomly. There's no discernible strategy behind it. There's no place to put AI keys. So I don't think it's actually using real AI either. And yeah, it's just pretty fake. And it's pity. Let's run ourselves now a visual back test to see if we can glean any more information. And once again, we're seeing the classic scam of choice of people of putting in place like really fancy looking panels with beeping and bopping and a variety of interesting panels which really don't do anything. But yeah, like this is clearly fake. It's just made to look fancy so people are more inclined to buy it. But honestly, this is not a good bot. Like, there's no discernible strategy, there's no real AI. Clearly, they're using some sort of trailing stop loss to actually manage it. But the fact that it just so happens to pick the trades perfectly is a very blatant history reader. Or if not, he could have just gone through and like cherry picked all the trades perfectly. I would be highly doubtful that this signal is around for a long period of time. He just juiced it, getting a really high percent return through few trades with high leverage, but I doubt it's around for too much longer. So yeah, guys, this is a bad bot. Don't buy it. There's so many better options out there from many good developers who are developing real strategies, but it's always good to just approach these things with a critical view. If somebody really has something that is this high of a return over drawdown, like, he would never want to sell it because he could just put in, you could get a car loan for this and put it all in and just print cash, right? So there's no reason, if something looks this good, to not be skeptical. There's definitely some skepticism is deserved here. So overall, not very good, but yeah, there's definitely better options out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.